Of events unfolding across the district tonight. A woman is dead, one of her children is injured, and another was missing for several hours. Hello, everybody, and thanks for joining us for News 4 at 11. I'm Jim Hadley. It began in Glover Park on W Street, not far from 41st Street. Authorities tell us that's where the suspect shot and killed the woman. He also shot her 12-year-old daughter and took her 3-year-old son from the location. He then drove to Prince George's County and back to the district where he crashed in Southeast. Police say the suspect died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. The 3-year-old was found safe in Prince George's County. We have team coverage of this incident for you tonight. News 4's Jackie Benson is live for us in Southeast, and Joseph Olmo is live in Northwest with the latest developments. Let's start with Joseph. Joseph, what have you learned since 6?
Hey, Jim, good evening. You know, I'll just tell you this. When the chief of police in a city like Washington, D.C. comes out today and says that what happened is one of the most tragic things he's ever seen, that is when you know it is bad. Let me take you to the scene here. Let me show you this. This is the first time since 5 this afternoon that there's no more police tape, there's no more police lights. But the weight of what happened here in Glover Park today is still very much heavy.
This is one of the most tragic circumstances I've ever seen. I mean, an entire family is destroyed through the acts of an individual. We have a mother who's dead. Her children will never have their mother again. They have a father who's deceased as well. So this is just tragic all the way around.
Yeah, Jeffrey Carroll there, the interim chief of D.C. Police, obviously upset to share the news.
Wow. So let's look at this. So apparently the man kills a woman who is the mother of these mother of 3 children, and then shoots her daughter, 12-year-old daughter, and then the man takes the 3-year-old and drops the 3-year-old off in Maryland. I'm assuming that he is the father of the 3-year-old. He may be the father of all the children. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure he may not be the father of all, because what would make you shoot your 12-year-old? And I've seen worse, but it'd be. Then they pursued, police pursued into D.C. from Prince George's County, and then the man just offs himself because he didn't want to face the consequences of his actions. What a cowardly act, honestly, and not to talk shit about anybody who's dead, but yeah, very very cowardly act. And I'm not sure what was the build up to this whole thing, but now you've taken a mother away from children who now have to find a way to navigate life. And if you are the father of all 3, I mean, now mother and father of all 3 are gone. And 3-year-old son, if that was your son, it's like you lessen his odds, man, as far as really being able to find himself and really know who he is, because this type of thing is a cloud that could just stand over his life forever. Hopefully it won't be like that, but we all typically know how things like that go, and haven't seen a suspect or anything like that, so definitely be curious to see what all the individuals look like in this whole thing. But this is definitely a tragic story, and my condolences to the family of everyone who lost someone in this whole situation, because everyone has someone that is going to love them, whether it's your mother, grandmother, father, cousins, whoever. But man, this was a very very cowardly act right here.
So here's what we can tell you. Shortly before 5 p.m. today, at an apartment complex in Glover Park, a man, police say, shot and killed the mother of his 3-year-old boy in what's being described as a domestic dispute. Now, in the chaos of that shooting, a 12-year-old girl is a daughter of this woman who was killed, but not the daughter of the suspect. This 12-year-old girl...
There you go, yeah. So he wasn't the father of the 12-year-old. So, you just shot someone else's kid just because y'all was in a domestic dispute. And this is one of the reasons why, man, I like to pay attention to a lot of creators who are on the aspect of don't go out here and become like anyone's third baby daddy, second baby daddy, stuff like that, because these type of things are going to arise, and it's all about how you deal with these type of things. And it's just best not to even put yourself in that position, um, because it's everyone's vying for the same territory, and you know, everyone can't run the same territory type of thing, and it's just simple as that. Um, you're stepping on someone else's porch, and you gotta definitely be careful with how you do that type of thing.
Girl was shot in the arm. She thankfully is expected to survive. Now, after the shooting, police say this man took off with his 3-year-old son in a truck. An Amber Alert was issued. Well, turns out police say he dropped the boy off with family in Prince George's County, miles away from Glover Park. Now, after he dropped off the boy, he was spotted by Prince George's County police officers who then started chasing him back into D.C. He eventually ends his life, police say. A dramatic afternoon by all accounts, a crime that, like, the chief said, has now left 3 kids without a parent and a community very, very rattled.
I'm really shocked. This is not Glover Park.
I've lived in Glover Park for like 3 years, and it's usually like very family friendly. Like there's trick-or-treaters on Halloween, and this is definitely the first time this has happened. I don't even think I've seen police presence.
This is the first time, since I've lived here that anything of this scale or anything like this has ever happened.
It's just how it is now.
Just notice the demographic of people who are living in Glover Park. Lets me know that, Glover Park may be a little bit on the expensive side, or, not really affordable to, a lot of people, put it that way. And I'm not sure if they lived in Glover Park or if they were just visiting Glover Park, but it just speaks a lot. It speaks volumes.
Pray. Pray. Pray for those kids.
I'm sure a lot of people are praying for those kids tonight. By the way, that 3-year-old boy who was apparently taken from this scene by his father, that 3-year-old boy is okay and is with family now. But just a horrible, horrible scene here in Glover Park. Like that neighbor said, we are all praying for this family. Back to you.
What an ordeal, and frightening for that neighborhood indeed, too. Joseph, thanks so much. We're also learning more about the suspect in this case tonight. A search for Stefan Jeter after that shooting in Glover Park led to a chase and a crash. News 4's Jackie Benson joins us live from that scene of the crash that came to a deadly end on 30th Street and Nash Place. Jackie, what are you hearing tonight?
Well, Jim, Stefan Jeter apparently shot himself as police closed in on him in his pickup truck. We have a little video to show you. Okay, it's up on the screen. You can see that crashed pickup truck. Police are looking at a timeline that says after the shooting on W Street, Jeter drove to a relative's home in Prince George's County and left his 3-year-old son with them. Officers on an unrelated call nearby spotted his truck, which was the subject of a lookout. Here's how D.C. Police Chief Jeff Carroll described what happened next.
The vehicle, including the suspect, was seen out in Prince George's County by the Prince George's County Police Department. They attempted to stop that vehicle as it entered the District of Columbia. Members of the Metropolitan Police Department joined in pursuing the vehicle, and there was a vehicle crash in the area of 30th and Nash Place. At that time, the suspect in this case, Mr. Jeter, was located inside the vehicle with what appears to be a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
News 4 has obtained court records that show that Stefan Jeter has an extensive criminal record. It includes domestic violence. In 2019, he was sentenced to 5 years in prison with 3 years of supervised release after pleading guilty to his role in a conspiracy to buy guns in Georgia and illegally sell them on the streets of the district. And as a convicted felon, he would have been prohibited from legally owning a gun. News 4 has obtained.
At the time, the suspect in this case, Mr. Jeter, was located inside the vehicle with what appears to be a self-inflicted gunshot wound.
News 4 has obtained court records that show that Stefan Jeter has an extensive criminal record. It includes domestic violence. In 2019, he was sentenced to 5 years in prison with 3 years of supervised release after pleading guilty to his role in a conspiracy to buy guns in Georgia and illegally sell them on the streets of the district. And
That's how guns get out, because people know that they can come down to the South, purchase a gun, several guns, and maybe go back to DC, make a little profit off of it, because it's easier to obtain a gun in the South than it is going to be up in the District of Columbia. And they say he has an extensive record from what they did their research on, and I mean, I could have just guessed what the suspect was gonna look like. I mean, it's just not to try to talk down on people who look like me or even lighter than me. It's just not to talk down on them. It's all about a mind state. It's all about how people carry themselves and how people are. And what they choose and choose not to do. And just because they look like you don't mean they are like you. Don't mean they are of the same ilk. And just because you don't do those type of things doesn't mean that you're better than them. You're just choosing to live better than them. And that's just how it goes, man. You know, this is crazy, man. So, um, of course I could have guessed. Just like you kind of put stuff together, man. You have a area um where everyone that was on the news report didn't look like this individual here, and they said they hadn't seen police presence like that. So a lot of things just kind of context clues, and you just put it together. But good thing he didn't do anything to the 3-year-old boy. He got him to a relative where I'm sure he's gonna be safe. But at the same time, man, this 3-year-old is gonna have to grow up and maybe one day find this whole news video, because once stuff is in video format, I don't think it ever goes away. And yeah, it's gonna learn the truth about what happened, and he's always gonna wonder why, and he's never ever gonna truly get a real answer to why. So definitely unfortunate. And again, my condolences to everyone who was hurt and affected in this whole thing. And we'll see if there's more information that's going to come out about this story. We'll go ahead and wrap this one up. If you like my content, make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And this is Justin Paul. Peace.